Welcome to Techo Guide, the only app designed to help you navigate your college and career journey in the quickest and most affordable way. This podcast is brought to you by EdTechWity, dedicated to opening doors to higher education and career opportunities for all.
What's up, everyone? It's Professor G, and today in College Basics, I'm going to cover the high-level overview of all of your college and university options in California. First things first, you have a ton of options in California. Whether you're a high school student, about to graduate, or a freshman in high school, it doesn't matter. You have to know about what your options are after high school. This also includes anyone who's, 25 years old, 35 years old, 50 years old. In California, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what your past was. You can always access higher education. So here it goes. One of your first options in California, your largest option, is attending a California community college. There are 116 colleges in the system of California community colleges. They're pretty much all the same. You can go to one, you can go to more than one, etc. They all charge California residents $46 per unit, which is the most affordable in all of the U.S. What that means is a 3-unit class, a history class, for example, or a business class that's 3 units, I would be charged $150. Now, don't worry about that $150 because there's a ton of promise grants, which means that most colleges now are free to attend. More than half of the 116 are offering some kind of promise grant for anyone who is new to college to be able to study for at least the first 2 years for free. If you qualify for some of the need-based financial aid, then guess what? You're going to get paid to go to school like I did. My family, we worked hard. My parents were farm workers and, they worked 12-hour days. But as a farm worker, doesn't matter if you work 12-hour days, you're going to be low income. And that's just the way it was. And we were always low income, no matter how hard my parents worked. Those industries really just don't pay enough to become middle income, etc. So I qualified for all types of financial aid, which paid for my college, which gave me grant money to kind of support myself, a little bit of money. It doesn't pay for everything. It pays for about 30% of college costs. So California community college is probably the best and number one system I would highly recommend most people to start at. After the community college system, you have the California State University system, and those have 23 schools. You either get into a CSU through high school, completing the right classes, the right grades, and then applying and see if they take you, or transferring in from a community college. The third system is the University of California, where they have 10 schools. 9 of those schools accept students for the baccalaureate degree level, which means that you can enter as a high school student, kind of the same as a CSU admission process, or you can transfer in from a community college. The third system is our private universities, our not-for-profit private colleges and universities in California. There's over 60 private schools in California that are either 2-year private schools or 4-year private schools. Those are the nonprofit ones is what I highly recommend because those are, they're nonprofit, which means they're still expensive, but those are, say, the more legitimate, in my opinion, schools where you can definitely receive financial aid, definitely get degrees that are regionally accredited, which means they count pretty much all over the country and all over the world. And then the last system of higher ed that you may hear of is the for-profit 2-year schools. And these, I just caution you, be very cautious with 2-year for-profit private schools because many of their classes do not count at any of the other systems of higher education that I just mentioned. And they are usually very expensive. I mean, if there is financial aid options for those schools, it's usually in the form of loans. And they don't have a good success rate. Last I checked, for black and brown students, over 85% do not complete those degrees and end up with a ton of loan debt. And, that's the kind of stuff you want to avoid. So that's my bias. That's my opinion. Just be real cautious when you're looking at a 2-year for-profit private school because a lot of those get shut down, recently by the government because they were just jacking people. So those are the systems that you get to choose from. There's also trade schools that are out there that teach specific trades, apprenticeship programs, those kinds of things. But in terms of colleges and universities, those trade schools are not considered colleges and universities, but and some of them are viable options. I would still recommend checking out a California community college even before you go to a trade school because most California community colleges have trades in their curriculum that you can finish at a quicker and a more affordable rate. So for more helpful tips like this, please check us out, techguide.com, and download our free app that helps guide you through every class that you need to take for any major in the California Community College system. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media at techguide. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into TechGuide, the app focused on bringing you tools and content to help you make better decisions about school, life, and career. We hope this episode has inspired you to pursue and excel in your own educational and career journey. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share.